It's always a pleasure to go to TPI. Of course, you roll up in there. It's like, you know, the golf skate park, playground. I hadn't been in a couple years, but man, they just keep updating that place to make it more and more fun. But the purpose of our visit was a driver fitting.
Whoa.
We've got some new product coming out. And we're calling it GTS.
GTS.
Yeah.
GTS.
It's a little sooner than normal.
Yeah.
But we felt like, how could we not put this out into the world because it's so good?
We were all kind of in the same mindset of, guys, it's not broken. I'm hitting it great. Tom, I'm not a tinkerer.
I did wander in there thinking with a healthy skepticism, right? Like, pry this GT from my cold dead hands kind of thing.
GT's the best driver that I've ever had, the most confident I've ever been. So I was definitely skeptical coming into what can you do better than this?
And then talking to Lucas, it's contagious how excited he was about the GTS and all the options he now has as a fitter to mess with the weights and you know, basically set up the club to get the outcome that I'm looking for.
Center of gravity and finding what you all do in your swings and making contact with that center of gravity is one of the most important things you can do. Think of driving a car.
Yeah.
You sit in any car, they all drive a little bit different because you sit in a different part of the wheel well, you sit low, you sit high, it's wide, it's tall, whatever it might be. It's the same thing with drivers. If we can match your delivery and what you are trying to do in your swing with a center of gravity position, it's really hard to get wrong.
Somehow I drew the short straw, or was it the long straw? And Lucas called me over and I was up first.
All right, let's hit your gamer.
All right, lads, let's turn one over.
Draw?
All right.
Wow, he called it.
Yeah, he called a shot.
If you could make an improvement on that club,
Yeah.
what would you ask for?
All of us went in there feeling like, all right, we hit the GT pretty far. Like we're not, you guys hit it farther than I do, but I'm good. Hey, who doesn't want 20 extra yards? But that wasn't, you know, when they asked, what do I want out of my driver? It was like, well, I want to, you know, I want to stop blocking it and hitting big wipey shots to the right, but that's on me. And Lucas is kind of like, well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
All right, Tom, we're going to break you down. I love your delivery. You got a great swing. You're more up on the golf ball. You're 5 degrees up. It's not a good thing or a bad thing, but it explains your two-way miss. The tricky part is before, we would normally have to lower loft to get spin to come down. Well, what starts to happen, that makes your left a little divey, and that makes you create the wipe. So we want to maintain loft, but we want to reduce spin. That's the goal.
Maintain loft, reduce spin.
Yep.
That was the most interesting part for me, right? Like, you're going in there, you're like, okay, forgiveness, you know, eliminating this particular miss. If we can do those things and have the swing speed that I have, or the ball speed, and maybe even a little bit more, that would be wonderful. But yeah, so we started, you know, we looked at the 2, which has the highest MOI, most forgiving, and it was actually making my miss worse.
Okay, 2 model, 9 degrees, back weighted.
I don't want to see that.
Good, give me that.
Block party, I love it.
Block party.
So this is where you get into the MOI conversation of 10K or higher MOI.
Okay.
Doesn't want to move, doesn't want to twist.
Yeah.
Well, if it prevents you from turning it over,
Right.
that's a challenging position to be in. We're gonna do a back weighted 3,
Back weighted
and we're
3.
gonna slam the weight towards the heel to get you to turn it over.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out, can I push you outside of your comfort zone so you start making a slightly different move into the ball? Or, hey, this style of center of gravity just doesn't work for this player. It's totally reasonable.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I like that one.
That's your best one.
Okay, now we're in the ballpark.
I mean, these are
What's that
starting
like?
to feel a little better.
Oh,
That's what we want.
that's
Yes.
good looking ball there.
I mean, that's just a better golf swing, too.
You know, my issue of kind of standing up and getting stuck and blocking shots, the adjustability was the thing, right? So he starts and I've never moved the weights on any of my clubs since they started having weights you could move. I was just afraid to do it, or like, oh, I'll change my swing now, or I'm gonna snipe it or something. Just keep it neutral. I'll be neutral and I'll adjust my swing to that. Well, he slid the weight all the way, I think, down to the heel, moved the back weight around, made adjustments there, and suddenly like the club face was like closing on its own. And so what I was trying to do physically, like the club head was actually helping me accomplish that.
There we go.
Cooking.
Killed.
So now, remember we talked about these numbers, how everything's starting to zero out a little bit more?
Yeah.
You don't have to feel like you're stuck.
Right.
So I can move the weight in a position to let you let it go and get rid of that right miss once and for all.
That was the different experience for me in this fitting. Because it's always been about, all right, are your numbers right? Let's put you in the right thing to get your numbers where we want them. And now it was like, all right, how do you want the ball to, how are you going to hit the fairway? And it's like, well, if you set it this way, you're going to hit the fairway more. I'm like, oh, wouldn't that be nice?
It just feels like I'm turning better with this.
Yeah,
That's it.
Oh, come on. We're done.
that was money.
We done.
I feel like, Tom, your last 10 shots, I remember you saying that you missed a couple, and me and Neil looked at each other and we're like, did he miss that? It didn't look like he missed it. Like it was like the right side of the fairway, maybe.
Yeah, see, I would take right side of the fairway instead of street. So that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
GTS 3, 11 degrees in a B1 setting, so just a touch flat. We moved the weight all the way to H2, and we kept the forward weight option.
I think what Lucas did with me is, this golf club, the way the head's set, if I swing it exactly the way I want it to, I'm going to get a nice draw. If I block it a little, it's going to be a little straighter, and it's not going to be dead right. It's going to close a little more. And that was like, all right, so like my good shot and my miss it's a much tighter ballpark, those two things. And I can live with that.
All right, let's do it. All right, you're up.
All right.
Good luck,
job,
my
buddy.
friend. All right.
That was
Don't make me look too
that was
bad.
almost the awkward player caddy.
It was.
You guys saved that, flipped that one at the bottom there. That was a great transition.
Mike, what were your goals? You were up after Tom.
The biggest thing for me was I've made some swing changes. So before I was a little bit over the top, I was always hitting a fade, and then kind of came in now with a little bit different delivery. So now I kind of hit draws with the driver, and what we saw was ball speed was good, but the window was flat and it was coming out low and it wasn't staying in the air.
I love this club.
Yeah?
Like, I'm very skeptical you can beat it because it's just been the best one I've ever played.
Okay.
But there's still just like the one or two around that go in the person's yard that's a score killer.
Okay.
That can be a miss for sure.
He's at 12 degrees of launch and 2,100 RPMs of spin. His airplane is having a hard time taking off, getting to altitude, and passing over the mountain range to get to its final destination. So it's kind of not reaching its potential to where it could go.
Okay.
So if I give his golf ball more lift, he can feel more comfortable hitting that style of swing that he's looking for.
Yeah.
GTS 3,
Okay.
it's 10 degrees though. At A1, your shaft.
Oh,
Hey.
whoa.
That would be nice.
Hey now.
Okay.
Can I take this home? Got the plane over the mountains.
And the first time he got me in the right weight with the loft, I just remembered, I was like, man, that window does not happen on the course. And I remember thinking that ball just stayed up there.
Man.
You just carried it 10 yards further by doing nothing other than just changing to a new model and loft.
Yeah, Mike, some of your windows, man, when you had that dialed in, that ball like stayed there. You could have painted it on the on the sky. It was just high and deep. It was lovely to watch.
Yeah, I've hit them high before, but just not. It's normally not high and deep. So that was fun.
Adding loft is really good.
The loft thing's interesting though because it's the same thing. Like I always thought, like the better the player, the lower the loft. Like 8 degrees of loft was like the hidden goal in my mind. Like that's sexy. If you hit an 8-degree driver, you're good. So when I had a 9 and he wanted to go up to a 10, but it just kind of reminded me that that's like there's tour players with playing 11 degrees. You know, like there's no reason for that stigma to be on there.
Okay, let's go to a 2 model.
Okay.
In 9 degrees, but back weighted. So I like to kind of work in extremes. I like to find the edges of where I have to go. So this is kind of on the top end now, and we're gonna work on the things that are in between these 2 golf clubs. So now I know my range.
That's kind of
really like that.
Kind of nice.
Woo! That's closer to your window.
Likey.
Okay, let's go one more extreme. I wanna see what an 8 degree does, back weighted.
Okay. 8 degrees?
Yep. That's gonna have no spin on it.
Yeah.
One more, but we're gonna change out of that pretty quick.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take it from you.
The fitting process, they work on the extremes. They're like, he doesn't really tell you what he's putting in your hands. It's like, don't look at it. You know, he's like, you know, tweaking all the gears, click, 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 this, that, and the other. And then, okay, and he's almost excited. It's like, I think I know what this is gonna do. But it's like a live experiment, and then you do it, and you hit like a mega block, and he's like, okay, that's what I thought was going to happen. Great, now let's work back from that extreme, towards and then let's go the other way.
Spin on a golf ball is what makes it curve offline, and that can be true. But like spin is also what keeps the ball from not like it needs spin to go straight. Mm-hmm. If you have no spin, that ball can actually dive and slam to the left. Yeah. The launch is really where we made a big change. We felt like 83 feet was a little low, so you were creating a 2-way miss. We went from 12 degrees of launch to 14.5 degrees of launch. So far, a 10-degree 3 was really nice. What that club is doing for you is it's forcing you to compensate back to 0.
Gotcha.
So 10 degrees, A1 setting, but weight all the way towards the heel. If he flushes this one again, it's so right.
Yeah.
It's so right.
That's it.
It's so right.
Woo! I like that.
That's all it is.
There you go.
Ooh.
Oh,
There it is.
Come on.
There's your right miss.
That's a miss. Yeah, that's in the fairway though.
Even the misses that's in the right rough. Like I would hit the ball, and you can feel it when you hit it. Like, okay, I know I didn't do the right things. I didn't clear. I got stuck, and so I expected it to see it 30 yards right, and it was 10 yards right. So, really saw the difference in the settings. Just immediately helped me.
All right.
All right.
Neil,
You're up.
all right. It is time.
This, man.
See,
Oh,
see?
we did it again. We did it
There we
again.
go. See, that's how you know it's real. All right.
I was third to go. Two tough acts to follow. I think what I was looking for is I have a right miss. That's the normal miss, but that one's like we know that devil. It's the left miss that is paralyzing for me.
Like that's not coming out the window I'm expecting right there. That's a straight ball that's then going left, or like starting left and going left. It feels like that's going to get me into trouble.
So part of the struggle with you is you want to swing left.
Yeah.
So I want to get you in a completely different thought, just to see what will happen.
Love it.
So this is a 2 model 11 back weighted.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's
Gosh.
better.
How did that feel?
We like that.
So this is a 10 degree now, exact same setup. So I liked what you were doing in terms of window and ball shape, too much spin.
Okay.
So I'm starting you on the far right side of the spectrum, and I'm gonna keep working you left until it goes to your old miss.
Okay.
Mm.
Yep. I like that one.
That I like.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Cheapers.
We can count on that one.
150.
So in the 2 model in 10 degrees, you were 8.5 launch, 3,300 RPMs a spin at 173 ball speed. That was 173 ball speed. In the 4 model, I removed 1,000 RPMs a spin, just changing head model.
Yeah.
I did nothing else than give you a back-weighted 2 to a stock 4 model, and you removed 1,000 RPMs a spin.
Okay.
That's how much center of gravity
Matters.
can change, because loft isn't really something I can't start giving you 8, I can't start giving you 9, because that's where your swing flaw starts to come in.
Yep.
So I have to use center of gravity to work the ball up and down in the spin window.
Okay.
That was really nice.
Yeah.
So by giving his miss a little bit less spin, he kind of could control his distance a little bit more.
I got no problems with those.
That was another legal limit. That was murdered.
Also, Neil, I don't know if the video picked it up, but you lived at the max limit of the smash factor.
I did, just below the legal limit. Right?
There was a couple times you were breathing the exact limit.
But the goal here is, can we eliminate one side of the golf course?
Yeah.
I think you can.
Yeah.
That is the 4 model, 10 degrees, but I put all the weight towards the heel.
Okay.
So he is swinging a little bit to the left, and I feel like the lie angle really pulls him to the left. If I move the weight towards the heel, he can get it a little bit left of target, but it's going to want to bring back because of how he's setting up.
Ooh. Yeah, like that's the best one of the day, it felt like.
173.5 ball speed. That was
came
nice.
out of a 150 again.
Still legal.
Best one of the day.
Right at the top.
That was for sure.
Best of the day.
Goo.
Oh boy.
Yes, sir.
Dude, just
Yeah, that's
Still
good.
I like this combination.
wreck it.
This is still the 4 10-degree heel.
Wow. Never took you for a
H2.
4 guy.
I have a tendency on misses to have a very spinny ball. We were able to keep that spin down on the right miss and combine it with a good launch angle, which is awesome. Picked up on my best one with the GTS 3 miles an hour ball speed. And so again, I think some of it for me is like, I feel like I'm not chasing distance, but if I can enable myself to swing freely, I still think there's speed, there's ball speed, there's club speed to pick up if I can keep that dispersion down and specifically keep that left miss out of play.
You jumped up from 170 to 173 ball speed. You jumped up from 7 launch to 9.5 launch. You jumped up from 2689 to 2861, a couple hundred RPMs a spin, but you gained 18 yards in carry.
Oof.
Moral of the story is, you hit that 10-degree 4 really good.
Yeah.
In a heel position.
Yep. I have no argument with that. Yeah.
I know golf is more fun when you're hitting the driver well. Period. When you're hitting golf is more fun from the fairway, I think is and you know, like when you can just swing away off the tee and you can go on offense, that's when I have the most fun on the golf course. And so I feel like my biggest takeaway is from that fitting is the GTS is going to enable me to do that. You know, just slight improvements on the GT. It's like, great. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Just continuously getting a little bit better, raising the floor. I'm excited for golf season.
Oh yeah. And I think what Lucas did for all of us at the end of the fitting, it was like that freedom was there. Because even those minor manipulations that you don't feel going in, he can see that. And and I remember him saying, Mike, you don't have to try to get this in the air anymore. We've got the right launch conditions. We've got the right weights. It's going to do it. Just swing. And that's just sweet when you can just let it go like that.
Yeah, I think when you take the technology, you put it together with having such a great fitting, you know, seeing the results, seeing it on TrackMan, seeing it with your own eyes, it all adds up to me to just confidence. And man, to step up to a tee box, it's one thing to say, okay, if I hit this driver right, it's going to go 10 yards farther. But it's another thing to just say, okay, I know this thing's going to be in play. And that's that playing with that kind of confidence is that's really, really fun.
Confidence, and I think the only thing I'd add to that is like there's no excuse other than I just need to get better, which I find very I don't know, puts me at ease. It's like there's no doubt. It's like I got the right club, I got the right ball. All right, man, you just got to go practice then. If you're not hitting it well, like it simplifies it for me. It simplifies the game. It's like, okay, then it's on you. Go put the work in. Everything else is in a good spot.
It's on us now.
It's on us, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. Instead of being like, oh, I don't know, are my settings? Maybe I should tinker. It's like, no, don't tinker. Just go practice. That's the key.
Exactly.
So, well, gentlemen, it was good being with you out there. I mean, it's always a pleasure to go to TPI. We'll have to get 18 holes in, get around a golf in once we all get these GTSs and see how we're hitting it off the tee.
That's next. Let's get our GTSs and let's go play some golf.